Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Relatively Gaming Podcast. My name is Turn-Based TJ, aka TJ, and I'm joined by my fantastic, wonderful co-host, Enigma 911, aka Brett. How you doing today, Brett?
Hello, I feel tired and I'm not looking forward to the move, even though I am. It's just like I'm in that weird phase of I can't do anything yet. I know, Moose, you're not happy about the news either, but outside of those factors, I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
I am doing very good. I'm in a very good mood today. I've got the hood on because the hood has come to Marvel Rivals. Yeah, that's definitely the only reason I'm wearing a hoodie. But yeah, I think that's cool that the hood is coming to Marvel Rivals. But we'll get into all that in the news segment of the podcast, which is how this podcast works. We do a little bit of the gaming news. We talk about some games that we've personally been playing and enjoying. We talk about a dreaded mystery section, which is tends to be a quiz, and then we also have our future game, a game we're looking forward to on the horizons. So, Brett, why don't you kick us off with the news? What do you have for news for us today?
Sure, I guess I'll jump into The Hood joins Marvel Rivals. This is going from Polygon and Willow Row. Fans may have known for a while that the Hood would be the next hero, as Artemis is very excited to play as him. Coming to Marvel Rivals, but now NetEase has officially confirmed it. As part of the upcoming Season 9.5, Parker Robbins is joining the ever-growing Hero Shooters roster later this week, aka today, as of recording. The Hood is a Vanguard, Marvel Rivals equivalent of a tank, who blends the character's magical and street-level abilities into one dangerous package. In practice, the Hood appears fairly similar to Overwatch's Reaper, except for his ability to become a, giant gun-headed demon. He will also have team-up abilities with Cloak and Dagger, Jubilee, and Magic. So yes, the Hood is out today. There's some other roadmap plans for the remainder of the season, with Season 10 starting September 11th. So not too far, about a month till the next season. So I'm also curious who to see joins the roster then. But yeah, I struggle to find a Vanguard main, so maybe the Hood will be him. And with the wrestling connection, as we talked about last week or the week prior, maybe that'll be enticing. But TJ, what do you think about El Hood joining Los Gamos? I don't know, sorry.
Well, I think you might have to fight me for him because I also struggle to find a Vanguard, and I think I might like the Hood ever since watching Ironheart. He's a prominent character in that. Prior to that, I didn't really know much about the Hood other than like Marvel Snap,
Yeah.
pretty much. So that's really my reference is Ironheart. But he was great in Ironheart, so it makes me really want to play as him because he was one of my favorite characters. But yeah, I don't know. I think Devil Dinosaur also is very fun as a Vanguard. I just haven't played as him a lot because I like to stay on heals when I can. But yeah, it's really cool. And you also said that you don't know, the next season starts on September 11th, and you don't know who is going to debut. None of us do, but I think it would be very funny if it was another mutant. Give us another X-Men. We only have 17 of them or whatever in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we keep bringing up that leaked roster page, or at least I do from time to time when you bring up X-Men characters, and there's still a few on there that could show up and be potential, so we'll have to see if that comes to fruition. But, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's hints out there somewhere in terms of, like, imagery and Marvel in-game lore that, like, the really hardcores have already dug and delve into. So maybe there's some news out there. I just feel like I haven't seen anything in comparison to past seasons where people are already speculating and talking.
Yeah, it has seemed pretty quiet on that end of things for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the one big, giant negative piece of news, at least on my end. Electronic Arts goes private as $55 billion sale is finalized. This is coming from Insider Gamer and Mike Straw. For the first time since 1990, EA, or Electronic Arts, is a private company. On Tuesday, what was expected became official as the $55 billion sale of EA was completed. As of August 4th, one of the largest game developers in the world is under the control of a group that includes the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners. At $55 billion, they keep wanting to say that, the sale of EA becomes the largest leveraged buyout in history. Unlike a traditional sale, a leveraged buyout sees the acquiring party use a large amount of debt to complete the transaction. That debt is then placed onto the books of the company. In this case, EA will see $20 billion added to its overall debt. So yes, Saudi Arabia continues to buy things. Companies work off of debt? Question mark? I don't know how the fuck that works. That makes no sense to me. But yeah, TJ, did you see this news and thoughts, feelings?
I did not actually see this piece of news. I didn't realize that the sale had been finalized, but that is a bummer.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing that not only in the gaming industry, but also in the movie sector as well. We're seeing, I believe it was, well, I don't want to say the studio in case I get it wrong, but one of the major horror independent studios has also been bought up recently by Saudi Arabia, and it was kind of a big deal. And so this is just an ongoing theme, I think. They're just really pumping into the entertainment sector and stuff. So that's unfortunate. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think in terms of game studios, I know they also own the ones tied to SNK, Saudi Arabia government. So there's that.
Hmm.
I'm looking right now at EA's library because I just honestly blanked at what they even do besides sports games.
Right.
I was hoping for a conducive list from their site, but no, of course not. It's just like, oh, here's all the categories. Just give me the fucking games, mate.
Check out Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Oh, okay, here's one. No, I'm joking. Wikipedia is great. So we got football, not football. Well, yeah, college football, F1, My Sims, or rather Sims. These are recent titles. Battlefield Red Sec, Battlefield 6, so the Battlefield franchise, the NHL franchise, which I know you were looking forward to.
Yeah.
Madden franchise, and then some other ones like Joseph Ferris Studio with Split Fiction and those. I was talking with some friends about this yesterday on stream. Maybe it was at work. I don't remember. But also companies like BioWare they own, so the Dragon Ages and then Mass Effect. Apparently, this is an evolving story. My buddies were saying that maybe BioWare will be kind of scooting out of that situation. Time will tell. I don't have any more further concrete details on that, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. Selfishly, this puts me in a tough spot because Jedi Survivor is an EA project, and I love, the Jedi series, and I love Fallen Order and Survivor, and was expecting a third game at some point. So now, if it's there, I probably will skip it, which I mean is not anything like, ooh, you know, it's tiny little droplets in the lake of what this is, but it's a sacrifice I'll make, and I'll be sad about it when the time comes. But yeah, bummer.
Yeah, bummer. I forgot that Dragon Age and Mass Effect were also owned by EA until you said so, and then I'm remembering the ugly EA logo on the bottom of every game case that I had. And yeah, that's a big bummer because Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age Inquisition together, those are two of some of my favorite fantasy RPGs of all time. And to know that I haven't played like the most recent Dragon Age game. Was it Veilguard?
Yes.
Vanguard? I don't remember.
Yep,
Yeah,
Valkyrie.
I didn't really vibe with that one, but I still had hope for the franchise and for the future. I thought they could have course corrected, but now I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I haven't played one in a while. I've talked about my feelings about Mass Effect here, but Dragon Age I've tried a few times. I tried with Dragon Age Origins, and I liked it and enjoyed the characters, but at the time when I played it, it was a bit tough for me, so I didn't really stick with it. Veilguard, I liked the idea, but like you said, it wasn't like a strong feeling of like, I need to get this. So I did wait on it, and luckily it came packaged one of the free PlayStation months. So it's technically in my library, and I'd like to play it at some point. But yeah, I have not a lot of experience with either of those franchises personally, so it's more of just the Star Wars in particular. Is like that's the one that hits for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So luckily, that was our only bummer news this week on my part. So let's get into some fun news and one story that's actually kind of wacky. Let's start with one for you, TJ. This was shared to me with Mudhorn, so shout out to him. This is Henry Cavill's working on a Warhammer 40K animated show for Amazon. I am so sorry I forgot to copy and paste what article this is, so whoopsie. Henry Cavill, once celebrated as Geralt, is in the first 3 seasons of The Witcher's Netflix series, is now Mr. Warhammer 40K. The former Superman actor has been known to be a massive Warhammer nerd for many years, and was first rumored to be attached to an Amazon-based project associated with the game's Workshop IP back in December of 2022. That was, and seemingly still is, set to be a live-action series starring Cavill in a leading role, and now, according to a report by Variety, it is being joined by an animated series which Cavill will be producing. This animated program, according to Variety, is a direct spin-off from the 40K episode of 2024's Secret Level series. Quote, the response to the Warhammer episode was extraordinary, says Dave Wilson, a longtime cinematic director with Blur, particularly from fans who understand how much care went into getting the world right. The series gives us the opportunity to build on that foundation and tell a much larger story. As for what the story is, little is known beyond a focus on Space Marine elites, the Death Watch, and hunting down alien threats. TJ, does this get you excited for some animated Warhammer?
A little bit. I just wanted an emotional roller coaster with you reading that article, actually, because I thought that this was taking place of the live action Henry Cavill 40K project, and I was a little bit bummed out when I saw the news, honestly, because I want to see Henry Cavill live action. There is a lot of good Warhammer 40K animation. Oh, okay, not a lot. There exists good Warhammer 40K animation, and animated stories. There does not exist any good Warhammer 40K live action anything. So, and also on top of that, Henry Cavill, he's a fucking Space Marine. Like, I need to see him in the suit with the pauldrons or whatever. He looks exactly like a Space Marine. Like, he looks like Captain Titus from the Space Marine video game. Like, it's kind of insane how good he would look in the Space Marine costume and stuff. So that would be perfect. It would be like the perfect casting. So I want to see the live action. But yeah, the animated version, I'm more excited now that I realize they're not canceling the live action, that they're still going forward with that. This is just an added bonus. That gives me hope because Cavill is producing, I believe, this animated short, which means that he'll have some creative control. Again, producer is such a loosey-goosey term. You could have a lot of control or a little bit control, but at least he'll have some input, and hopefully it's good input. I think he likes to stay true to the source material and stuff, so I kind of trust his vision of what was going on. And who knows, maybe he can tie the animated story into the live action one. Like we don't know. We don't even know what the live action thing is going to be, just that he's going to be a Space Marine. Probably. It would be really sad if he wasn't.
For sure. Yeah, did you watch the Secret Level series over on Amazon at all?
I did not. I have seen clips of the Warhammer 40K episode posted on subreddits and stuff, but I've never like sat down and watched the whole episode.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I remember seeing clips here and there, like you were saying. It's if you guys don't know what Secret Level is, it's essentially a series episodic where each episode covers or is tied into a different video game IP. So I know there was one for Concord, RIP. I think there was one for God of War. I may be mistaken. There was a weird Pac-Man, like futuristic one too. That was trippy as balls. So yeah, I haven't seen that either, but I believe there's 2 seasons of it and it's on Amazon. I don't think it's continuing after that, but you can go check those out if you want some fun one-off stories featuring some cool IP.
You have to check that out. And also, I do want to say one more thing about the animated series as well. I do find it odd that it's on Amazon, because Games Workshop has their own streaming service called Warhammer TV, where they charge a monthly fee for specifically and only Warhammer content, like animated shows and stuff. Now, I think a good margin of the value for that subscription is, I think there's like painting tutorials on there for painting your miniatures, which is like a big thing. So I think that's where most of the value comes from. But they do have the animated the animated cartoons and stuff on there as well. So it's a little weird that they're not putting that on the Warhammer TV, and that it's been a deal with Amazon. But maybe that just means it's going to get a bigger budget and bigger exposure. So
yeah, for sure. It's just Amazon essentially buying the rights to it and being like, hey, we're going to put all this money into it. So yeah, it makes sense. Maybe it'll be something like a Disney Plus or something along those lines where it comes down later the line to that Warhammer specific streaming service. But no, it's just starting there because obviously Amazon's putting the foot in the bill, as they say.
Foot in the bill, yeah.
Foot in the bill, Moose. You don't foot any bills in this house. Anywho, speaking of streaming services, transition. Did you know that Netflix is to debut an extended look at Grand Theft Auto 6? This is coming from Digital Foundry and William Judd. Grand Theft Auto 6 is a uniquely high-budget game, but even so, I was surprised to read today that Rockstar is debuting a quote-unquote extended look video on Netflix to subscribers only. The preview will go live to the general populace on YouTube 6 hours later. The video preview, which arrives on August 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. UK time, promises a longer look at the next evolution in the groundbreaking Grand Theft Auto series. This is the first time that a game trailer has debuted on Netflix. That is weird. Thoughts?
It is weird. I actually have this story sent to me by Mike as well, where he's
Thanks,
just like,
Mike.
"What the heck?" Yeah. But you know what? This is another scenario where I didn't read the article. I read the title of the article, and so I thought it was just going to be on Netflix exclusively. But you're saying it's going to be on YouTube 6 hours later,
Correct.
which belays my fears because that means, yeah, I don't think that's that big of a deal. Then it'll be on YouTube eventually for everybody to see.
Yeah.
You're just getting a 6 hour preview if you've already subscribed to Netflix, you know.
Sure.
So. I don't think it's the end of the world. It is a little strange that it's like with a streaming service like that, but it doesn't seem too bad that they're putting it out everywhere. I thought, it was going to be a Netflix exclusive, and it was the only way you're going to be able to watch this gameplay, and that would have been disastrous because that's a horrible idea.
Sure.
But
I feel
yeah.
like a lot of people would have pirated it or like, re-recorded it and things like that. So it's going to
Oh
get
yeah.
out there anyway. But yeah, only in that 6 hour time window. Why 6 hours? Who knows? But Speaking of people sharing stories with us, once again, shout out to Mike. This story was shared to me by 2 viewers. Shout out to Papa Griff and Mudhorn once again. Both had very exciting comments of like, yeah, no shit, it should be that way. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Xbox Helix backwards compatibility. This comes from the Video Game Chronicle and Chris Scullion over there. Xbox's backwards compatibility plans for PC will extend beyond games released on the original Xbox. That's according to a leaked document acquired by The Verge, which was sent to developers by Microsoft. The document states that this will extend to Xbox 360 games in the future, with developers able to opt into making their previous Xbox 360 releases available to play on PC. According to the document, Xbox 360 games added to the service will be playable on Xbox PCs, including the Xbox app on Windows PC, handheld devices such as the ROG Xbox Ally X, and the next-gen Project Helix console, which reports suggest will essentially have the DNA of a gaming PC. Developers will be able to decide whether to make their old Xbox 360 games backwards compatible on PC and Helix, and will also be in control of each game's price. Let's put a pin in that, but I'm going to continue the article. And whether it's available on Xbox Game Pass. The feature will reportedly roll out between 2027 and 2028 across next-gen devices, suggesting it may be some time yet until PC owners can play Xbox 360 games through official backwards compatibility. The document also states that the quote-unquote full launch of backward compatibility for original Xbox games on PC will be coming in October, meaning the 4 games currently available should soon be joined by more. So Xbox is taking advantage of all the shitty Sony news that has been happening lately and saying, hey, we're going to do everything backwards compatible. But as I will pick up this pin that I placed, my fear is true, because I mentioned to both the lovely audience people who shared this with me, I was like, is there a disk drive in the Helix? And this seems like no. So you will have to repurchase your games that you own already for these past consoles. So yes, nice that the libraries will be available to you, and we've talked about in the past how all 3 of the companies are kind of lacking in this, but they've gotten better, but it's still not, sunshine, rainbows, perfect world. TJ, what are your thoughts on Xbox's 5th-generation Xbox backwards compatibility?
Correct me if I'm wrong, as I'm a filthy PC gamer and I don't own a console or a PlayStation, but well, I guess I own a Switch, but I don't own a PlayStation. In the PlayStation 5, isn't there a way that you can purchase a separate disk drive to attach to it?
Yes, sorry to cut you off. Yes, there is. So I was thinking maybe, yes, there would be a peripheral for the Xbox down the line, but at least in terms of this leaked document, it does not say anything, and it seems like it'll just be a digital library where you have to repurchase stuff. But who knows? Time will tell.
Okay, yeah, because I'm thinking they're probably going to want you to re-digitally buy everything, let's be honest. But they may have an option where they sell you a disk drive for $50 in the future, and then you can put your 360 disc in, and magically it'll work. But we'll have to see if that is the case or not. And even if it does work, I wonder if they would actually like read the disc, read the game from the disc while it's spinning, or if they would just like use that disc to give you a digital license from there at that point.
Sure. Yeah, it's tough to tell. I know for the Xbox One generation, some games are backwards compatible where you could put the disc in, and then there was others that were not, and it was always frustrating of what works, what doesn't. On the PlayStation side of things, if you had an original PlayStation 3, You could put your PlayStation 1 discs in, you could put your PlayStation 2 discs in, no problem, totally fine. But then with the next generation of PlayStation 3s, that feature went away. And then jumping into the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3's like interior system, something made it like super difficult to do backwards compatibility with that library, which is why there's still a decent chunk of that missing. I don't know the ins and outs, but I know that was a frustrating part for a lot of people who were talking podcasts over the past few years. So yeah, backwards compatibility is a thing that they've been struggling with for a while. I do hope for the disk drive, like you mentioned. Sony did that with this generation with the PlayStation 5, but as we've talked about, now the PlayStation 6, presumably, why would they call it anything else? They're going digital only. So to not even them to do that, it's like, shit, grant a different company. But yeah, we'll have to see. Time will tell on that. But yeah, don't get too excited, folks. Still cool. Still nice to doing it. But yeah, the physical library, unfortunately, is not going to jump with you. You're going to have to pay.
Yeah, that is rough.
Yeah. All right. And I got one last piece of news, a very kooky one and a very surprising one. TJ, I think we've talked about these books. Yes, I've read, people. It's been many years, but I have read. You remember the series Warriors about cats?
Yes, I do.
There's a Warriors cat game. This is coming from IGN and Virginia Glaze. The Warriors cat books are finally getting a major video game adaptation. Aaron Hunter's iconic young adult book series, Warriors, is finally getting its first major video game, and it's a turn-based RPG.
What?
Yeah. If you grew up with Firestar and the Four Clans, you've been waiting since 2003 for there to be some whisper of a large-scale official adaptation following his journey from kitty pet, yes, that's what it says, to clan leader. While comic books chronicling the clan's brutal and dramatic histories have been around since the mid-2000s, news of a film series, or full-scale video game has been disappointing at best, leaving fans to create their own animations and labors of love that stand as a testament to how well-loved the franchise has been for the last 2 decades. That all changed in 2026, 23 years after the first book was published, when finally it was revealed that the Warrior series is getting both an animated show on Disney Plus and its own officially licensed video game released on consoles and Steam. A trailer shared to the official Warrior Cats Instagram account on August 5th gave fans a first look at the game, titled Warrior Cats Clan of the Forest. It's a turn-based RPG coming to PC, Steam, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2 this fall. Players will create their own cat, choose a clan, and embark to go on an original adventure through the plains, forests, rivers, and swamps that generations of readers have come to know and love over the years. The trailer showcased a glimpse at what combat will look like, with players and members of their chosen clan facing off against snakes, badgers, and even dogs. Traversal also looks as immersive as one would expect, for such a game, allowing players to climb up trees and race through the wilderness to catch prey and explore their surroundings. Warrior Cats Clan of the Forest is developed by Trailmark Games, an IP-focused developer based out of Minnesota, best known for titles like Cruise and Blast, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade Wrath of the Mutants, and The Walking Dead Streets of Survival. It's got a solid track record, and we can't wait to see how Clans of the Forest shapes up by launch in just a few more months. So yeah, what the fuck? I saw this and I was like, is this like just some random person fake image, like Reddit shit? And then the trailer was there. I was like, what? So yeah, TJ, thoughts as you were scrolling and searching away. I saw as I was reading the article.
Yeah, it's a fever dream. I had to pull up the Steam page to see this for myself, and yeah, the art style doesn't look bad. It's got like a not cel shaded, but kind of like a clayey texture almost. Kind of. It's got like a different texture to it to kind of hide the graphical fidelity a little bit, which I like. The style is pretty good there, but yeah. I was gonna make a joke when you first announced this. I was like, "Yeah, it's like 25 years too late." Apparently, it's only 23 years too late. So eggs on my face. But yeah, I don't think this game's going to do very good, to be honest with you. I don't know how popular this franchise is still to this day, but it is a game that I will be checking out personally, and maybe other people who grew up reading the books will be checking out. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the cartoon on Disney Plus or whatever will get like a younger audience to get invested into it. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm weirdly excited about it as well. I've been debating going back and reading some of those books just as I've, enjoyed it for a while, but once again, me reading, we don't get along super well. So like as I was watching this trailer, there was a lot of memories that were flooding back in of like, oh, how I pictured this area and how I pictured this, and then seeing some of the cats actually depicted here, I was like, I mean, granted, like I don't know any of their names anymore, but I was like, I don't think that's how I pictured that one. I don't know who that is. Like, so, yeah, I'll be interested to maybe jump into it at the time. Like you said, it doesn't look super impressive, but, as long as it's fun and has a good loop and stuff like that, maybe it's something to check out. But yeah.
Yeah, it's also a very ugly looking game with cats, eugenics, and that's a very fun game. So you know what? Yeah, maybe this has a chance, and it's a turn-based RPG somehow. So that's piqued my interest, of course.
Yeah, that's all I got for news this week. So TJ, hopefully I didn't steal everything. What do you got over there?
No, you stole a couple of them, but it's not too bad. I'll start off with Marvel Rivals, since you started off with Marvel Rivals. Season 9.5 of Rivals is here, as Bret so graciously told us a couple moments ago. And as the devs at NetEase have stated, they have come up with a new way to compress texture files without reducing visual fidelity, resulting in dramatically smaller install size for the game, while some reports indicating that PC players could see a 40 gig reduction in file size.
Nice.
And I did check my file size this morning, and it was 30 something gigabytes smaller than it normally was. So I just thought that was really great news. Anytime a game developer can do that, I'm very happy for, because man, I've got Baldur's Gate 3 on this computer right now, and that's like 120 gigabytes just sitting there. So yeah, I need all the hard drive space I can. And I was looking at Spider-Man 2 as well, and that's like 130 gigabytes or something, and I was
okay.
oh brother, yeah. So I definitely need all the hard drive space I can get. I'm already at 1.5 terabytes. I'm not getting any more than memory, so I just have to deal with what I have. And yeah, and Marvel Rivals is one of those games where it's going to stay on my hard drive, because you never know when the mood's going to strike, or if a friend's going to hit you up and be like, hey, you want to play real quick? So yeah, anytime they can reduce that file size, I'm a big fan of. Speaking of Marvel, though, not only did Spider-Man Brand New Day make $932 million in its opening weekend, making it the second best box office opening weekend of all time, it seems like the Spider-Mania also applied to Insomniac's Spider-Man 2, as the video game has seen an over 300% jump in concurrent players on Steam. This is thanks in part not only because of the massively successful movie, but also because of the effort from Insomniac to include additional cosmetics in the game, as Bret reported on last week, as well as discount the game 33% on Steam. So with all of that, the game is doing very well on Steam right now. It hasn't gone over its peak concurrent player count from when it launched, but it's still getting a good amount of players. So that is good and exciting, and hopefully good signs for Spider-Man 3. And also maybe Sony can put PlayStation games on PC again. Maybe they'll see the Steam numbers and no? Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Just very hoping.
Yeah.
One piece of news that I thought you were going to call out for sure, but thank you for leaving it for me, was one that you brought to my attention, and that is that Fire Emblem had a Nintendo Direct this week. So that was pretty cool. There was a lot in the Direct. It was like 20-something minutes, and I was pretty bad at summarizing it, so I'm going to steal it from James Ratcliffe at Game Rant, who summarized it for me. He said, during the August 4th Nintendo Direct dedicated to Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, new details about the game's overarching plot were revealed. 5 years after the heroic games, the demonic entity Baylor brings the Empire to its knees. The 4 heroes that took part in the heroic games also seemingly vanished. Nintendo confirmed during the Direct broadcast that Fire Emblem Fortune Weaves players will assume the role of a yet unnamed protagonist with white hair and a long white cloak. Under the guidance of Fortuna, the god of Casualty, the protagonist travels back in time to aid Kai, Dietrich, Theodora, and Lita in the heroic games and save the future from its grim fate. Each playable hero also has a signature blaze arts that can be used to turn the tide of battle, though this comes at the cost of some HP. For example, Dietrich can use Moving Shadow to warp 3 spaces, allowing him to bypass obstacles and immediately attack. Additionally, players will have a limited time within each in-game day to decide how to prepare for the heroic games. Players can recruit allies to each hero's side and gain experience by venturing throughout the game world's map. The outcome of the main story will depend on which hero Fortune Weaves players choose to help out, though different paths can be taken for each hero. Drawing inspiration from how Fire Emblem's Three Houses handled its narrative, Fortune Weaves players can experience each hero's tale in a parallel fashion. So, like the joke I made before, it really is Fire Emblem Four Houses. It's Fire Emblem, but you have 4 paths. That is wild to me that they confirmed that it really is a 4-pass game, because now I have to play the game 4 freaking times and it's going to be like 60 hours to play through it one time. So I'm just going to lose my life to this game. I do think it's really cool though that it's like you're going back in time. We saw in the previous previews of the game the heroic games that were being played in like an arena type thing, but it's cool that that's like in the past and that you're going into the past to maybe change this pivotal historical moment. I think that's really cool, and I really like the look of the protagonist, with the white hood and everything. They look a lot different than the tactician from the previous games, like Three Houses and Fire Emblem Awakening. They look a lot different than them, so all things are shaping up to be really good. The subreddit's very hopeful. Everybody's very positive about the game, so I'm really excited to see when it comes out. I think it comes out in September, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yeah, with everything else.
With everything else, yeah. So it comes out next month. So I'll be saving, but then also Star Wars Zero Company comes out. It's it's not a problem. Everything's fine. But yeah, it looks really good. If you're excited for Fire Emblem, you've got a lot more to be excited about now, because this game looks meaty and it looks really cool.
Very nice.
Speaking of the Switch 2, though, Diablo 4 Switch 2 version leaked. There's a big catch. Although Diablo 4 is already available on PC and other current-gen systems, Blizzard's hack-and-slash RPG could soon come to Nintendo consoles. According to Dia Labs reporter Billy Coon, Diablo 4 could arrive on Switch 2 on either September 15th or 18th. However, Billy Coon could not guarantee which of the 2 dates is the correct one. Additionally, Billy Coon stated that, how many times do I have to say his name? Stated that physical copies of Diablo 4 would be shipped as a code in a box rather than as a game key card or a full game card. Should that be the case, Switch 2 copies of Diablo 4 cannot be resold or traded once the code is redeemed, obviously, and Diablo 4's Switch 2 port may also cost $69.99 at launch, but it is unclear if it will include the Lord of Hatred expansion or just be the base Diablo 4 game. Let me just say this off the rip. If it's $69.99, it better include all of the DLC. 100%. There is absolutely no excuse, especially for the first, not the Lord of Hatred, but what was the first DLC called? We're really testing my memory now. It's called Vessel of Hatred, perhaps. I think that was it. And there's no reason for it to not include that, at least with the Spiritborn and that whole jungle region and stuff. Maybe if you want to keep the newest DLC, because that only came out like 5 months ago, maybe if you want to keep that close to the vest, I kind of understand that. But it should include at least that first DLC, in my opinion. Also, this article made it sound like it was a bad thing that it was a game key, or that was going to be a code in a box. But like with everything we've been talking about, I'm so numb to it now that I'm like, oh, it's a code in a box. Okay, great. So was every copy of GTA 6. So is every PlayStation game in 2 years. So it was hard for me to be upset about that news, to be honest with you.
TJ won't even have a box in 2 years. It's just all digital. So at least you got a box.
Yeah. Yeah, at least I got a box and a code of paper with a 16-digit code on it.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last piece of news I have here might be a little funny to you as well, but as Xbox owners know, there's nothing really special earned when getting all those achievements in a game other than bragging rights. The PlayStation ecosystem has platinum trophies, though, earned for gathering all the trophies that feel like a reward in and of themselves. Xbox is not likely to do away with GameScore, but it's going to add some kind of equivalent to platinum trophies. Asha Sharma has confirmed. When Twitter user Brandon WW83 asked about the platinum trophy equivalent with achievements, Sharma responded with, "Team is working on something for later this year." Also worth mentioning that this is the latest player fulfillment confirmation from Sharma, who since her appointment has restructured the company and looked into fulfilling specific player requests via Xbox player voice. Cynics will say this is a distraction from the mass layoffs, which it almost certainly is to some degree. Yeah.
That's me. I'm a cynic. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. It's like, hello, me. I'm bitches. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think this is just her trying to panhandle to her audience and be like, hey, you know, good things are coming. I swear, Xbox is going to be on the up and up. It's going to be backwards compatible. We're going to give you trophies or platinum trophies. We're gonna do this, but really haven't seen anything tangible. So
Don't get me wrong, it's nice because that was always something that annoyed me as well. Like you get the 1,000 gamer score and then just okay, and then the number gets confusing because then it's all over the place depending on where you got games, and then if DLC gets involved, then your score's not altered, but then the thingy's messed up. It's just like but yeah, you could have done this ages ago. Ekbach, what are you doing? I just find it silly. I mean, I don't find it as intrusive and stuff as like my other cynic feelings of the backwards compatibility and whatever. It was just kind of like, okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, I don't have much feelings other than yeah, thanks, finally.
yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, as someone I have a Switch 2 and a PC, and I feel like those are the two worst achievement systems for sure. The Switch 2 they just don't even try. They don't have anything. They had a limited time Donkey Kong specific achievement system for the Super Nintendo Donkey Kong game. Oh no, I think it was the 64 Donkey Kong game. For some reason. But that was about it. And then on PC, oh my God, Steam is like so confusing. Like
you
get
don't
the
like your
achievements,
trading cards?
but then you have to like trade them in. You get the achievements, but then that gives you the right to get the cards. To then, if you get all the cards, then you can, and then you level up. And then I don't understand what's going on.
I don't either. I just see it pop up. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, it did something.
Yeah. I don't know, sometimes I sell off some cards for like 32 cents, and I buy a cheap indie game with it, but otherwise I have no idea what's going on with the Steam version of things. So yeah, so I'm kind of removed from the achievements conversation entirely because I have the two worst ecosystems for achievements. But I'm glad that Microsoft is getting a little better about it at least, and that might entice me to jump down the line. Maybe achievements might be a bigger thing for me because I did enjoy that on PlayStation, even though I'm not a platinum trophy hunter. I did enjoy getting a lot of the trophies and stuff.
Yeah, it's a nice little extra.
And also, yeah, I've also I think we talked about this. I'm like 4 trophies away from getting every trophy in Elden Ring. And they're not even that hard. One of them's like get every legendary item in one run, and like I know where they all are. I just never gotten them all in one single run because it would take a long time. Anyway, my point is I've not been motivated to do so because it's on Steam, so I don't really care. But if it was on PlayStation, I could be like, oh, I've got a platinum Elden Ring trophy. Where's your platinum Elden Ring trophy? Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's all we have for news this week. Things are looking up a little bit, at least I think. We're gonna move into our next segment now, which is hey man, what you been playing? So hey man, what have you been playing lately?
Hey man, looking at my notes, it doesn't feel like a lot. I'll talk about 2 stream games. I'll touch on Halo first, because I finished Halo Campaign Evolved last night with some buddies. Good time, solid game overall. We talked about, first impressions last week of like, I didn't notice too many issues, and in terms of Unreal Engine 5, everything looks gorgeous, gameplay solid. Seems like they made a little bit more tweaks as we were going through. Nothing too different. I guess the library level, for those of you guys who are in the know, they changed entirely. But outside of that, layouts and everything was the same. There were more enemies that we encountered and ran into, along with weaponry, which to me was like, oh, that's nice that they added it. So if they're continuing to go this route, which it seems like they might be, of remastering Halo 2, potentially even Halo 3. We'll have to see what other twists and turns Halo Studios, I almost called them 343, what they do in the future, if they do those. But I remember we had that news story last week or the week prior where they canceled one game and they were going to do 3 games back to back. So we'll have to see if Halo 2 is this like 2 years out type thing. Who knows? But we had a good time with that. There was some frame dropping online. We played, the three of us, I played on PlayStation, one person played on Xbox, and one person played on PC. Most time, ran totally good, no issues, no crashes, no dropping of anything. I will say PlayStation 5 loaded the maps fastest. Haha, suck it. But we did run into two moments where there was a lot of frame drop when it was a bigger area and there was a lot of enemies to deal with. So it might have just been all the shit that was going on at the same time. It wasn't anything that really detracted from the experience. It was just like, okay, we're chugging a little bit. And then it kind of, evened out as we went along. Speaking of trophies, unfortunately, a bug that I experienced, we completed said story. I did not get the trophies for some of the back half levels or completing the story. So that's a bit of a bummer. Will I feel motivated to do it again on my own? We'll see. I don't think I'm getting the platinum in this game, so it's like, do you chase it, do you not type deal? Because I think if you're going to get the platinum, there's the skulls, which are like modifiers to the gameplay that makes it either funny, easier, harder. And there's something called lasso mode, which I don't know all the details about, so I don't want to talk too much out of my ass. And everybody's like, no, that's not what it is. But I think it's like a harder mode. I think you play on legendary. Oh, is that what lasso stands for? Let's fish out and let's see if this is what it is. Legendary, all skulls on. Maybe that's what it is. I don't fucking know. That's lasso.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
If it is that, fuck no, I ain't doing that. I'm not going to be playing this game on legendary. And while the skulls are fun, no, I don't want to be ripping my hair out. So the platinum's not going to be happening for me personally. So to go back and get those other ones, it's like, is it worth it? I don't know. I might do it on my own just to run through, because it wasn't a super long game. I think all in all it took us about 6.5, maybe 7 hours to get through. So yeah, I know, that's why I did it. So it was a good time though, nonetheless. I will still be on the side of, if you're really into Halo, yeah, get it. If you're kind of like, oh, that looks fun, wait on a sale. This is not anything that's going to be like, oh my gosh, the best experience ever, and you need to play it. No, I thought it was a total, that was fine. And then it was added a level by like, I'm playing with other people. Because yeah, if those other people didn't invite me, this would have been a skip, to be honest. So
for sure, yeah.
Next game I'm going to talk about is an indie I played over on Twitch, and it is called Deer and Boy. Deer and Boy, very similar to Blanc in concept, where it's two characters kind of going through a journey together, point to point, and you're assisting each other with puzzles and whatnot. But this is more tailored to the single-player experience. Talked about with Blanc, where it's more cooperative. Each player of the two will control one of the animals, and you kind of work together to solve the puzzles and whatnot. In this one, you are Boy. Does Boy ever get a name? No, he's a silent protagonist. There's no dialogue in this game. All the story you kind of pick up through the visuals and kind of extra information that you kind of glom off of or whatever, learn from. Blanking on the exact terminology for this. So the two of them, the boy you learn is running away from home. You don't learn the reason why for a long time unless you're smarter than me and can pick up on context clues. That's what I want to say. And as the boy is going through his journey of running away from home, he finds a little deer. The deer is adorable. His head is way too big for his body, but he's adorable. And some unfortunate things happen to the deer. I will not say what. And these two become like a tag team. And they're just like their new family that they found each other. And you're going through factories, going through buildings, going through the forest, and escaping different animals and people and whatnot. And as you progress even further through the game, there's introduced a kind of mystical, magical element to it, or fantasy side of things, where there's this corruption that's kind of infecting the woods, the wildlife, and you're running away from these fears. And luckily, the deer gets good magic. For some reason, he has this like power of light, and you two are working together to protect yourselves while also escaping the enemies that are around you. The game's beautiful. I had a great time with it, and the lesson, or kind of the overarching story that they kind of reveal towards the later stages of what was going on with these two individual characters and the struggles they're facing, I was like, oh, that was really nice. So I definitely recommend this game for people. It's another one that was like in that 6-hour range if you're really beelining it, maybe 5. But platform wise, I believe it's everywhere. I would go definitely check it out if you're interested in this. And just because we're talking about trophies, Platinum Hunters, it's not too difficult. So it's an easy plat as well, so you can go chase that if you'd like. All right, let's get on to the main event. Well, I mean, TJ, you got some stuff. Do you have only one thing to talk about?
I have only one thing to talk about.
All right, you lead this conversation, my friend, and I will dip my toe in here and there. TJ, what you been playing?
Yeah, I actually haven't been playing any games at all until yesterday. And then yesterday, Marvel Tokon came out. And I was so excited. I woke up early and downloaded it before I went to work. And when I came back, I just dove right into it. Now, initially, I did skip the intro battle because I was like, I'll just jump into some versus matches and figure it out. And then I was very confused. So I went back and luckily you can replay that battle. So I went back and played it again. That goes to show that you don't always know what you're doing sometimes. But yeah, I've just really been enjoying the game a lot more than I thought I would, honestly. I've played through the entire Avengers episode section, and I'm playing through the X-Men section now. And then I've also just been playing a lot of versus. At first, for a while, I didn't know how to change the CPU difficulty. So I just kept playing the same. I didn't think there was a way to change the CPU difficulty.
Okay.
Because some games are like that, like Avatar, right? We talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't an option for that. But luckily, and it was a little bit too easy. It was a little bit too easy, so I wasn't having fun. But then I found out how to change the difficulty actually, which is a little. It was a little. What do you call it?
Counterintuitive.
Counterintuitive is the word I was looking for. Thank you. It's a little counterintuitive, but I was able to do it, so I was able to figure it out. And now, the difficulty goes up to 5. I'm playing on difficulty 4, and it feels about just right. I can like just win while still losing a round or two, so it makes it interesting. But so I've been doing that, having a lot of fun. I've played the arcade mode a little bit as well. There's an arcade mode. It's pretty cool. Sometimes you get to choose some of the fights that you're gonna do. You get like a two-way thing, and you always fight like one of the main teams at the end. So there's like different branching things that you choose based on the teams that there are. So I think there's 5 teams or whatever. So there's like 5 different ones. And that's pretty fun. You can choose difficulty on that. I think there's a option above hard too. It goes hard, and there's like one even higher than hard. So if you're a good player, you can probably have a lot of fun with that. I've just been playing on normal. I played one on hard, and I got beat down. So I need to improve my skills a little bit more. Which, speaking of which, I've just been trying to improve my skills, just like some small stuff. How long have I played the game, actually, is the question that I want to know.
9 hours.
So far, I've played the game for 8 hours. Yeah. So, oh no, 9 hours.
Uh-huh. Discord told me.
For some reason it's saying that I'm playing the game right now, but I should not be. Okay, whatever. Yay, PC gaming. Anyway, played the game for about 9 hours, and I was having a hard time tagging out, which I know is a little ridiculous because you can tag out with just the left trigger,
Sure.
which I really appreciate. It's very easy to tag out. You don't have to do a button combo or anything. But for some reason, I was having a hard time like choosing which person to tag out on.
Oh, okay.
I know you just hold the directional and then tag out, but for me, what I was doing is I was pushing the control stick, or I was pushing the left trigger, and then I was pushing the directional. But we had to actually do is hold the direction first and then push the left trigger, and then it'll choose them every time. So just small stuff like that I'm just getting used to get better. But yeah, I haven't really talked about the game itself. It's just it's incredible. It's a tag game. There's 4 characters. The thing that I love the most so far is I just love all of the characters, like all the character designs, even characters where it's like, okay, I've played as Wolverine and Captain America and Magneto and Spider-Man to a lesser extent in a fighting game before, but like for some reason, like I'm really enjoying playing as Wolverine and Captain America and Magneto and Spider-Man and stuff like that. They just seem like they play really good, and they're really cool. Everybody has like a twist, And one of the things that I really appreciate and enjoy that I wanted to bring up as well is this is Arc System Fighters. So it's very similar to Dragon Ball Fighters as well. It has the auto combos and things. So very similar to Dragon Ball Fighters. However, in Dragon Ball Fighters, I felt like the differentiating factor between a lot of the characters, because you are doing auto combos so much, really the things that differentiate the characters are either A, the ranged abilities, like what type of projectile they shoot, and then B, it would be their supers, their specials. So their specials really differentiated them. Whereas here in Marvel Tokon, you actually get special abilities on the right bumper and the right trigger. Are both like unique abilities to the character. So there's and they're directional too. So that's like eight character specific moves right there, which is really cool. And really adds to me wanting to try like all these different characters and stuff. But yeah, I've just been gushing about it a lot. Oh, and one more thing before I let you go as well. Blade. I thought Blade was going to be cool in a fighting game, and I was super right. He is incredible in this game. They added like he's got like a Japanese Oni demon shoulder pad, like pauldrons. His design is the coolest blade design I've seen yet. I really like it, and I didn't think I was gonna like the character design of the game that much. Because seeing some of the still images and stuff, I was like, I don't know, like Iron Man, you know, he looks a little different and stuff. But actually playing the game, actually seeing the characters in motion, I'm really digging these character designs. I think they look incredible.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. So you talked about, let's kind of break down each of the modes. I
Yeah.
haven't played too much. I played for about a half hour on a stream last night. I had talked about I had played the second beta and enjoyed it. Jumping back into it now, I did similar to you. I skipped the intro. So me, similar, also tagging. I'm like, I don't remember how to fucking do shit. So I'm just kind of sticking with the one person and going at it. And I jumped into a few different modes, but we'll get into it. So we talked about the episode mode. We had talked about it leading up to the release. It's each team, they're going to be going through an episode mode, roughly 2 hours each because it's 5 teams, so 10 hours in total. There'll be comic book panels going through the story and whatnot, leading up to a big fight with the champion, whatever the fuck his name is. I'm sure you know better.
Yes.
So how has that
It's the champion.
experience been so far for you?
Kind of a mixed bag. So I was disappointed at first when I saw the comic book panels. I was like, "Ooh, this is what we're doing now. That's not great." But then, as I got into it, it's actually not bad, the comic stuff, because they are telling unique stories every time. Like in the Avengers one, some light spoilers, not a big
Sure.
deal, but
Yeah.
basically, they like exile Hulk from the Avengers, and that's why he's like Savage Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you get the Savage Land and stuff. So like they have unique story elements and plots that are unique to this game universe, which is really cool and interesting. It makes me want to like play through the comic missions, and they are like legitimate comic panels. So some of them are cool like comic panel shots and stuff. It like zooms in the middle of the screen, and then it like goes back and fades and makes a full comic book page
Mm.
when it's done. So that's pretty cool. But the thing that's kind of a mixed bag is that the fighting. There's only one round of fighting every time you do it for like per chapter. It's only like a one round fight. So you'll have like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of these comic book sections, which are not bad by nature, but just the fact that it's just 15 minutes straight of the comic book missions, and then you go into a fight and the fight lasts a minute, maybe 30 seconds if you're good, you know, and then it's on to the next thing. It's a little disappointing. When you get to the end, the last 3 chapters are you're fighting the champion, and boy howdy does it there's a lot of gameplay in those sections, I'll tell you that much. Oh my gosh, there's too much gameplay in those sections. You'll be playing a lot. But yeah, leading up to it, at least in the Avengers one, I noticed that yeah, a lot of these matches are one and done, which is really weird because the core game, like the default settings of the game when you do like a versus match, is you have to win 3 rounds. So it's a little weird that it's just like a 1 round automatically win fight for most of these. So I don't know. It's kind of a mixed bag. I'm still gonna play through all of them because when I beat the Avengers one, I unlocked a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna tell you what. I don't want to
Sure.
spoil it, but I unlocked a lot of stuff from beating the Avengers one, which made me want to play through the X-Men one. So
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I got spoiled on one big unlockable. Something about a. Well, I guess we don't need to be cheeky. Did you unlock champion?
The unlocked champion.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's what
That's the
that's what I
only
was trying to keep
yeah,
close to the
that's the only
vest.
thing I saw thanks to the internet. Everybody just talks about everything. So I was like, okay, that's nice that at least he's unlockable. I don't think the second in command is, but we had talked about the potential of it too, because like, oh well, these characters have full move sets, you're going to be fighting them, maybe there's a potential there. So cool that we get him. And personally, it just raises a question in my mind of like, well, everybody's a team here, right? It's all teams of 4. You're on your own, Chief. How does you're messing with the whole dynamic? No, it doesn't really matter. But it was a nice addition. Okay, so cool to
Yeah.
hear your experience with that. Sorry, go ahead. Did you have another point?
I was gonna say, I'll just say the other thing you unlocked then, since we talked about the character. You unlocked just palette swaps.
Okay.
Uh, but they were cool palette swaps. So
Okay.
I was into them. And then also, I want to say that I shit on Danger quite a lot when she was revealed for the X-Men team. But having gone through the story now, I actually super understand where they're coming from putting her in, and I actually do agree with the choice now. I think it was a good choice. Would I have liked to see another mutant? Absolutely, but I understand why they put Danger in now. Like it makes sense with the story they're trying to tell.
Okay, good. Yeah, with the costumes and stuff, if you go to character select screen on the roster, everybody has one costume unless you pre-order, then a few select ones have an extra costume. So at least the potential of skins is going to be in there. Obviously, you talked about unlocking some things, which you mentioned palettes, so we won't go too into depth just for spoiler's sake. But I'm curious if it. I even said it on stream. I'm like, I wonder if this is just DLC stuff, and it's like they don't have anything to unlock, because that would have sucked. But for that base costume, every character gets 5 colors. 2 are like, one's their base, one's a fun reference comic wise, maybe even the third one is, and then the 4th and 5th are kind of like generic, but they're still good looking. So you have some options for customization there. So overall, episode mode, you enjoyed it, but some things that didn't fully click. All right, got it. In terms of the games with the matches, obviously you've tried out a bunch of different characters. You shouted out Wolverine. Are there any other characters that you've kind of resonated with and enjoyed playing?
Gosh, I'm still like really trying to get a handle on the roster for
Yeah.
sure, but like, oh man, I really love playing as Blade. Blade is super fun. Blade and Wolverine are like, because I've made, and this is a glitch that I've actually run into, which I'll talk about as well. There's some PC performance issues,
Okay.
but one of the glitches I've run into is that you can actually save a custom team, so you don't have to go through and select them and their
Yeah.
color palettes every time, which is very nice and very convenient. I've saved my first team. But then the glitch that I'm running into is it deletes all the other teams.
Ooh,
So I've
okay.
saved like 2 or 3 other teams and it keeps deleting them every time I reboot, but it keeps my first team for some reason. So I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, my point was, I had 3 teams at one point, and all 3 teams there was Blade and there was Wolverine, in different positions on the roster, but they were in there somewhere.
Hmm.
I also really like, and I didn't think I was going to, but I really really like Shuri's Black Panther. She was great. I didn't realize she was going to get the Dora Milaje spear.
Mm.
So the fact that she's the Dora Milaje spear and she's the Black Panther and she has her like inventions from Shuri stuff that she mixes into the fight, man, is she cool. And there's there's it's a very specific thing that you can do. But basically, if your opponent is 1 round away from winning and you have 150 meter, you can do a super move that does like half their bar. And it's like you get a crazy animation for whichever character you have out at the moment. Like your whole team punches them up kind of Persona style, but then like your main character will get like a super cool finisher. And the one for Shuri is she rides a giant mechanical robot panther
Hmm.
lion with wings that are lit up wings, and she rides on it like a Zord, and she stabs it with a spear, and it's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So when I saw that, like I literally had to pick my jaw up off the ground. I was like, oh my God, that was so cool. So there's just a lot of moments like that in this game too, where you're just like, that was insane, that was awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, with my time, I jumped into Loki right away. I really do enjoy him. He's got some cool ice moves that you can do, as well as some projectiles, so I was getting used to that. I've played Goblin a little bit, but not as much. I mentioned how I sucked at the tagging, so it was kind of pretty much whoever was my lead guy stayed in there the whole time.
Yeah.
So I did switch to Goblin. I haven't figured out how to implement the glider into his combat a lot. It seems like he's just kind of running around, but he also has some good projectiles with some Batarang-esque type things he throws, as well as the pumpkin bombs. So in terms of those two, I've been enjoying them a lot. I haven't really experimented too much outside of that in terms of new characters. I jumped into Star-Lord again, who I was pretty having a good time with in the beta, as well as Storm. But outside of that, not too many. So cool to hear who you're enjoying in the roster. You mentioned arcade mode. So there is the arcade. Ooh, they got some fancy name on with this, the branching paths, which is just a sequence of fights, as TJ mentioned, and if you reach the end of that sequence and you finish that battle, you unlock something. I did one round last night, hoping maybe this is how I get a costume or something. I just got, like, key art, and I was like, fuck this. Like, it's nice, but I don't really care for it. So I'm curious to see what else they have offered there. I talked about it on stream. As they add... Obviously, Phoenix Cyclops is coming in the first season's pass, but as they come out with like full teams, which I guess I wonder, tangent here, but I wonder if that will tie in, if all the DLC characters will be part of a team, like the rest of the roster here. So I wonder if we can use that as kind of, well, I mean, the last team, the Samurai Outriders, was a bit of a misfit toys kind of situation, but I wonder if we can kind of use that as like, I wonder who would team with Cyclops in this. Anyways, so I wonder if as they add DLC characters, if they'll add to the episode mode, if they will give them comic panel story. Obviously, that'll be a little bit more of work, but I think they can fit very nicely in this arcade mode where it's something added to them, but it's more simpler in terms of just like it's 25 fights or however many in the full board for them. I hope that's something they add as we get more characters in the roster.
Yeah. I just want to add as well real quick that the arcade mode, there is also an endless mode.
Yes.
If you were into that, there's an endless mode, so you can go through and play that to your heart's content if you would like. I'm not really the biggest fan of endless modes, but it's in there. So.
Yep. And the one that I want to talk to you about the most in arcade mode is Arcadia Ultimate Thingy Little Dude mode, which I think is Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls Kirby Air Riders.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of like, so you're not like getting upgrades as much, but you are like punching people with your little avatar, and you do get items and stuff. So I don't know. I've only played it a little bit. It was a very bizarre mode for sure.
Yeah, I played against CPUs because I was interested, and then I got stuck and could not move, and I was like, okay. But essentially, you're running around as a little avatar that you can customize to your heart's content based on lobby skins that you do have. And as TJ mentioned, it consumes? That's not the word. It includes, I don't know what I'm looking for, 5 rounds. 3 rounds, I believe, are gathering resources, similar to the Kirby Air Rider mode we talked about a while back. And then 2 rounds are fighting other players. In those rounds where you're kind of just running around as your lobby avatar, as TJ mentioned, you can go punch other players for whatever reason just to kind of aggravate them and get them out of your way. But then you can also pick up items. Some are items like Mario Kart style, where you can mess with other players, whether it's an offensive attack or laying down traps and things like that. The other thing you get is upgrades. So as you start, you select 3 upgrades that will affect you in your match. Maybe mid-match you're going to get an attack bonus. Maybe when it's late match and you don't have a lot of health, it will boost you again, or does some different things there. As you're running around, the more items you pick up, you are upgrading and leveling up these skills up to a level 3. So depending on, the world objectives that you're running into and things you're collecting, you'll make yourself tougher and stronger for those fights that you're going to be doing. Like I mentioned, you can do this against CPUs, which I did, or you can have 8-person lobbies, which can be open to the world, or you could do private rooms. So it's like, oh, that's really cool. So this might be something hopefully you and I try out. It might
Yeah.
get a little boring if we're just fighting each other over and over again, so I don't know the longevity of it. But I thought it was goofy, and I thought it was cool, and just adds another layer of depth in terms of like, oh, another game mode for this. So pretty cool.
Cool. And I will say as well, the punching does serve another function where if you knock somebody out, you get a star.
Okay.
And the stars, I don't know what they do, but I do notice that they give you a rank.
Yeah.
So like whether or not you're in first or second or third is based on like the amount of stars that you have.
Yep.
But also that doesn't affect the power-ups that you were talking about, which I totally forgot about the 3-card power-ups that you have. So it is like Kirby Air Ride Jack.
Yeah.
You are improving your stats. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it's not even about the fights necessarily in those matches. It is maybe about just the point gathering. Obviously, the fights will give you certain points depending on your performance. Like I had in the first round, it was just who can get more KOs. So it's just 1 health bar for 30 seconds, who can defeat the other player more. So maybe with these real world events where you're running around, if you're not necessarily good at the fighting, maybe you can get more points that way and still kind of have an edge or be in the fight and in the match. We'll have to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I also just want to shout out one more thing because I
Please.
wrote this down as well. I told you that every character has a special ability, which it also reminds me of what was that beat 'em ups game? Cosmic Invasion. Reminded me of Cosmic Invasion, where in Cosmic Invasion every hero has one button that just does it's the superhero button.
Yeah.
So Captain America throws his shield, for example. Spider-Man does a web. So in Marvel Tokon, Captain America throws his shield again. But do you know what Magneto's special ability is?
I don't think I've seen it. No, what does he do?
You just push the right bumper, and he summons a whole ass New York taxi with a bunch of other metal and just chucks it at you.
That sounds about right.
It's so odd. You can summon unlimited. I don't know where he's getting all these taxis from, but you can just keep throwing taxis at your opponent.
Right.
Not that I've done that. Definitely never do that, but it's very fun.
Very cool. Well, nice. I'm glad to hear your positive experiences about it, and it seems like, as you were hoping, this will be a game maybe to get you out of your slump. Is there any other points you want to say about Tokon before we move on?
No, I really like it. I'm hoping to jump into the online. Oh, that was the negative PC problems was that a lot of people were having problems with it uses easy anti-cheat, which is notoriously horrible with Linux. Linux does not like easy anti-cheat, so a lot of the Linux users on Steam were very upset, all 12 of them, and everyone I'm just kidding, there's a lot of Linux users, and there was also have been some connectivity issues on the PC version where there's been stuttering and performance issues during online matches, which I have not jumped into online matches yet, so I can't speak to that, but I hope to do so maybe tomorrow or so. I might jump into like a casual match or something and just see how hard I get my ass kicked. I'm trying to nail down a team first as it goes. I just can't decide. Should I start with Blade or should I start with Captain America? And these are important questions, ladies and gentlemen. So I gotta figure that out.
Cool. Very nice. Back over to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Marvel Tokon, great game. That's all I've been playing really. So now we can go into the mystery section. And so we were talking about Marvel Tokon. Well, Marvel Tokon is a spiritual successor to Marvel vs. Capcom in a way, kind of. It's definitely a Marvel fighting game. So I'm going to ask you a series of true or false questions about Marvel vs. Capcom.
Ooh,
A
okay.
series that you are hopefully very knowledgeable about, very familiar with.
Claim to be. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's true or false, so it's not too hard. It's
Sure.
not too hard.
Not like my 30 fucking questions last week.
Hey, well, that was also an either or thing, you know. It was either backlog or played.
Yeah, some of those bonus questions though. Woo-hoo-wee.
Yeah. Okay. First question, true or false? The first Capcom developed Marvel fighting game was X-Men Children of the Atom, released in 1994.
I'm sorry, did you specify fighting game?
Yes, the first Capcom developed Marvel fighting game was X-Men Children of the Atom.
I believe it is, so I'll say true.
That is true. Correct.
Okay, good.
Good job.
It's over there in the arcade cabinet, so I was like,
Yeah, I don't know very much about the Children of the Atom or like the other early
Sure.
X-Men versus Street Fighter games or anything like that.
It's cool to see the crossover and like the growth of it, because there's a lot that is very similar with your X-Men, the Marvel superheroes game, Marvel's Capcom 1, stuff like that. Like, it's like, oh yeah, there's still this move for this person, and there's this, and it's like, oh, that's nice, all right, cool. And the art style is very similar too, so cool to see that evolution. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just like keep compounding on the games
Exactly.
and adding. Yeah, it's very cool. X-Men versus Street Fighter was the first Capcom crossover fighting game to feature a tag team switching mechanic.
Ooh. Huh. Tag team cross. Ooh, I don't know when. No, Third Strike's still one player, I think. No,
Yeah, Third Strike's one player.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know. I thought, I was like, is that still a team? Shoot. I'll stick with true.
You would be correct. Yes. It is true. That was the first time that it was a tag team, which
that was
is
a big
interesting.
selling point too. I was like, okay.
Yeah. The original arcade version of Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes included all of the playable characters that appeared in the later home console versions.
Is anybody busted in Clash of Superheroes? I don't remember any missing spots on the roster. I know we've talked about Juggernaut being a piece of work, but I don't know if he's in Clash. He might be.
Yeah, Juggernaut does break a lot of the games he's in.
I'll say true. Yeah, they kept everybody.
It was false. They added Mega Man and some additional content.
Cool.
Yeah. Number 4. The character Shadow Lady in Marvel vs. Capcom is an alternate version of Chun-Li inspired by Marvel's darker alternative characters.
I don't even know who the fuck that is, so I'm going to say false.
That one was true.
Oh, cool.
Shadow Lady's in there. Okay. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 uses sprites created specifically for that game and does not reuse any assets from previous Capcom fighters.
I'm going to say false.
Yeah. It reused every asset.
Yeah. I mean, smart. Why not?
Yeah,
except,
might as well
nowadays we're like, oh, Kratos is rowing the boat the same in 2018 as he's rowing it in Ragnarok. That's fucking stupid. Come on, people.
Yeah. Like, oh, they're reusing assets in Majora's Mask. And it's like, this is a fucking completely different game.
Yeah.
Whatever. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was originally released on Sega's Naomi arcade hardware.
Oh, boy. False.
It was true.
Okay.
It was on the Naomi.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I have no idea either. True or false? The original Marvel vs. Capcom was the first game where players could choose assist characters separately from their main team.
Yes, I have no idea how you do it, but it's just a giant block of all these characters, and it goes and like cycles through, and I'm like, I don't know who I'm picking, so it's kind of random. But yeah.
Yeah, true. That is true. I didn't know it worked like that, though. That sounds like a horrible system.
I'm sure there's a way you could set it, because I feel like I've watched Max and Dudes, and they're like always get the same person. Meanwhile, I'm over here, I'm like, oh, I got Roll this time. Oh, I got this bitch. Oh, I got this person. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's probably what happened if I did it as well. Okay, number 8. True or false? The variable assist system in Marvel vs. Capcom was designed around having unlimited access to assists during a match.
Variable. Can you read that one more time?
Yeah, the variable assist system in Marvel vs. Capcom was designed around having unlimited access to assists during a match.
See, the word unlimited access kind of has me thrown for a loop, because that makes me feel like, okay, Gambit comes out, goes back. Okay, it can come back right away. I feel like there's a cooldown, so I don't know if like unlimited might not fit that keyword, so I'm going to say false.
False. Correct.
Okay,
and that was the correct reasoning why as well. Yeah,
Cooldown.
it's not unlimited. There was cooldowns.
Okay.
And other restrictions. Yeah.
Cool.
There's like frame restriction or something. I don't know. True or false? You should know this one from personal experience, but Cable was considered one of the strongest characters in competitive Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because of his zoning tools and Hyper Viper Beam.
That's a true, yeah.
Yeah. Viper. Yeah, sure, absolutely true. That's burned into my brain. I will never forget that. True or false? Number 10. The character Tron Bonne
Mm-hmm.
first appeared in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
In terms of the series, you mean?
Yes.
Ooh, she definitely playable in 2, but was she an assist character in another one? Or in the first game? Oh, shit. Like I said, I don't know who's all part of that roster because it's random for me and I don't know how to pick. Oh, shit. Let's go true.
It was false. It was in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Shit.
Yeah. Okay, number 11. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was developed using the same engine as Street Fighter 4.
Oh. They do have a similar... Well, that's just the art style. That's not even the engine.
Yeah, it's just the cel-shadedness.
Can I cheat? Both are on the...
No cheating.
I'll say false.
Correct. It is false.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Street Fighter 4 came out after Marvel vs.
It did.
Capcom as well. But I could be mistaken, yeah.
Pretty sure. Oh, they're up there. They're out of reach. No, it's gonna be a whole thing.
Are you? No, okay. True or false? Number 12. Zero from Mega Man X was considered one of the strongest characters in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 competitive play.
Ooh. I'm trying to think of competitive teams, like, because I did watch a bit of Evo and tournaments around that time, because I was very into the Marvel 3 world, Ultimate and Base. I know Phoenix, everybody played fucking Phoenix, because she could get, X-Force Phoenix. I'm trying to remember if Zero was as popular, or, like, included in teams. See, I know he did his, like, ability where he kind of duplicates himself, so that would be pretty powerful. And he had the pizza cutter flippy sword move.
Yeah, Pizza Cutter was OP.
I'll say true.
It is true. Yeah, he absolutely was. I remember facing a lot of Zeros playing that game. Because that was also Marvel vs. Capcom 3, specifically Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, is the first fighting game that I really played online, and the first fighting game that I learned very quickly that playing online, you will get your cheeks clapped.
Yeah, those wall bounces, and you're just watching everything happen. You're like, okay, yep, fun.
Yeah, that's a rough one. MVC3 is rough playing online if you don't know what you're doing.
Nope, yep.
Okay, in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Phoenix Wright's gameplay revolves around collecting evidence before entering turnabout mode.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Outside of that, he sneezes. Maya comes as a defensive, but yeah, you got to collect 3 clues, and then you kind of cycle through different stages of the court system. And as he collects evidence, he gets more powerful, and his moveset expands. It's very fun, but yeah, it's a commitment if you want to be good at Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Phoenix Wright, Phoenix Wright was originally planned to appear in the base roster of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but was cut before release. That's true or false?
I could see that being true because he's tougher game mechanic wise, so I'll say true.
It is true.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder who they replaced him with. Or like
that's a
pushed
good
ahead
question. Probably
Beautiful Joe.
probably Dormammu.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Beautiful Joe's actually
He's
I love
fun.
Beautiful Joe. I love. Did you ever play the game Beautiful Joe?
I did not.
It's from.
No.
Very fun. Bullet time, basically. So you just bullet time all the time. It's very fun. Bullet time platformer, basically.
Cool.
Okay, true or false? The character Doctor Doom has appeared as a playable fighter in every numbered Marvel vs. Capcom game. Well, I'll just say every Marvel vs. Capcom game because the word numbered kind of fucks it up a little bit.
Numbered, yeah, because I don't think he's in the very first one, but he's in 2, he's in 3, he's in Ultimate. Is he in Infinite? MCU? I don't think so. There's no Marvel 4, sadly. So I'll say true.
It is false. He's not in Infinite.
Which is numbered.
But that's why I took numbered off because I was like in every.
Right, I was gonna say yeah. So I said it right, but then at the end, the fucking 50-yard mark, no, 0-yard mark, football. I dropped the ball and fumbled.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, everyone's favorite game, was
wasn't
criticized partly because it launched without characters like the X-Men due to Marvel's focus on the MCU at the time.
Correct, and they also didn't have the rights. Fox still had the rights.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, Infinite is not that bad.
No,
I've gone back
gameplay,
and
fantastic. Graphics, ass.
Yeah, the guy. I don't know what was going on with the graphics in that one, but yeah, the gameplay is pretty
It was
good.
bad.
I need that RE engine version of that game. Would be cool. The arcade version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 originally allowed players to unlock characters through gameplay progression.
Yeah, it did. I rented it from Hollywood Video, and then also had PlayStation 2 version. But yeah, you had to unlock all those motherfuckers and save up a bunch of coins. Yeah, you
Well,
did.
before you answer, I want to say
piss.
this is the arcade version.
Oh, I'm sorry. Arcade version, no. If it was home
Yeah.
console, yes. Thank you for the save. We'll put an asterisk on that point.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, arcade version, no, false. That's correct.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you did have to unlock them for the PlayStation 2
Oh,
version. I
yeah,
remember
and it took
you had to unlock a
forever.
lot of characters in that.
Y'all. Because, yeah, they had like 50, 60 of them.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip this question because
Sure.
it's a little unfair.
Okay.
Okay, this next one. True or false? The aerial rave mechanic became a defining feature of the Marvel vs. Capcom series.
Aerial yeah, true.
That is true.
Yeah.
I'm googling aerial
I
rave
think
right
it's
now.
just juggling people and tagging in people and keeping the juggle going.
Okay, nice. Get that one right. And then true or false? The last question. The Morrigan plus Storm plus Sentinel team was one of the most famous competitive teams in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Fucking Sentinel and MVC2. Rocket Punch.
Yeah.
Storm's got Typhoon. She yells at you a bunch. Morrigan also has the duplicate. Maybe I was messing that up with Zero. Because Morrigan can duplicate herself. And she mirrors. So my buddy Nolan did it in MVC3. And just fucking projectile fireballs coming over. I'm like, no! So I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, that is true. Congrats. You got 5, 10. You got 14 out of 19 correct.
With one asterisk. Thanks!
Yeah. One asterisk, but yeah, one save. One homie save. Oh, great. Well, thank you for taking that quiz. I appreciate it. It seems like you do know your Marvel vs. Capcom pretty well. I definitely don't know all the Coda stuff and all the early games I have no idea about, so.
Yeah, only dipped my toes into it, but thank God that tertiary knowledge kind of saved my butt today. But yeah, that was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, and I do have that collection on the Switch. I could go back and play some of the older games, but
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do that.
They're fun.
Yeah, it's true. They're probably pretty fun. Maybe I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for playing that. Now we'll move on to the next segment of the podcast, which is, hey man, what's the future game you're going to play?
Future game. Let's give a shout out, or I did give a shout out to one in the quiz. Oh God, Artemis, don't click something I don't need to. I gave a shout out to an indie game called TOEM last week, so I'd like to give a shout out to my future game being TOEM 2. From the Steam description, step back into the shoes of a curious photographer and set off on a brand new adventure all about uncovering hidden details, helping friends along the way, and documenting the world's little wonders in TOEM 2, the sequel to the acclaimed TOEM. This is coming from, it's developed by Something We Made and published by Something We Made and Pop Agenda. So yeah, adorable game. Highly recommend TOEM 1 to people. It's a 2D experience where you're taking photos and trying to solve riddles, if I remember correctly, and help the citizens as you're kind of traveling to shoot a photo of a mountain, I believe, for your grandmother. And yeah, it's a very sweet and wholesome experience. And with TOEM 2, it seems like it's going to be following the same base mechanics, but it is now in a 3D world. So you'll be exploring things a little bit differently visually. So yeah, looking forward to that. The release date currently is slated for September 29th of 2026. So end of next month. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh, that's very cool. It's coming out very soon then.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe I'll have to give the first one a crack, even though I'm not the biggest puzzle fan, but I do enjoy a good riddle.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll have to check it out based on the riddles.
Yeah, very chill experience. So it's not anything that I feel is going to rip anybody's hair out or make them frustrated. So I would
Okay.
highly recommend it. If you're interested on Steam,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm reading this correctly, it is $2. Yeah,
Oh, that's too
$2
high
right
of a
now.
price for me.
Well, for you non-cheapos, it's $2. Go play it. Compared to 20. The offer ends August 14th, so
Yeah, I'm actually
the end of
that's
this
a
week
great
as
deal.
the
I'm gonna get that.
podcast.
Yeah, I'm getting that as we speak.
Yippee!
And as such, I just reopened Steam and now it is blocking your face, so that's great. But yeah, I'm glad you're excited for that game. Like I said, I'll have to check out the first one. For me, I'm gonna cheat a little bit,
Okay.
and I'm gonna double dip. It's a game that I've talked about before and kind of recently, but I've just gotten more. I've gotten reinvigorated from my excitement for it, and that is a game I mentioned earlier on the podcast as well, and that is Star Wars Zero Company.
Yay.
Comes out August 27th, and they put out the pre-order bonuses and the special edition stuff, and they showed off all the different colors and all the different weapons and stuff, and you can get certain cool ARC Trooper armor sets, which reminds me of the Clone Wars animated TV show, both the 2D and the 3D one. So that's really cool. I'm so excited for this game. I really can't wait. It's only 3 weeks away, less than 3 weeks away actually, at the time of recording. And by the time this podcast drops, it'll be like 2.5 weeks out. So it's very exciting. And I will probably keep saying that I'm excited about this game until I get my hands on it, so I can play another XCOM style game in the Star Wars universe. That's so exciting and cool. Do you think you're excited about this game at all? Does this intrigue you at all?
I'm excited for you. I know we were excited after its release from Summer Games Fest, I believe is when it was announced. I don't
Mhm.
know if this will be one I jump into. I'm trying to be smart towards the back half of this year and really limit what I'm going to be getting as I shout out a new game with TOEM. But I'm like, okay, definitively Tokon I got. That was one. My big
Yeah,
milestone next one is Wolverine, Insomniac's Wolverine.
sure.
Outside of that, I'm trying to be like really selective and not in a bad way. I just feel like I'm acquiring a lot and I haven't played a bunch. So
Sure.
there's a lot of indie titles though, unfortunately, they're also coming out and I'm like, ah! So for that one, maybe I'll wait on a sale for it. The XCOM style, I've played XCOM very, very briefly. Sucked at it. And then Midnight Suns, while I alluded to that last week, I need to get back into. Maybe if
Yes.
that I do get back into that, have the fun with it, and then hear more things about Zero Company being more beginner friendly, maybe that'll also
Yeah.
be a nice safety net for me to be like, okay, yeah, I'll take the leap. I'll jump into it.
Yeah, for sure. Which, to be fair, I think I also threw you into XCOM 2, which is like
Yeah.
really presupposes that you've played the first game.
Mm.
So it's a little bit more difficult for sure off the rip.
Yeah. Yeah, you Zero Company coming out soon. I think also the pod racing one or just the regular racing one is also around the corner, so keep an eye out for that too.
Yeah, I think I'm like you. I'm starting to become more discerning about what
Okay.
I purchase in the back half, and it's like I
Yeah.
gotta look at the big games. Tokon I obviously got from Marvel stuff, but then it's like I'm not gonna be able to get Wolverine. So
Hmm.
for me, it's more like this game probably Star Wars Zero Company, which by the way, it's only $50, which is nice. I appreciate that they marked it down a little bit. Maybe just because it's a turn-based game and it's not for everybody, like that style of game.
Sure.
And then also, so this game and then Fire Emblem. I think
Yep.
those are the two biggest, and then maybe Ocarina of Time at
There
the
you
end of the
go.
year.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it's lining up to look that way. But you never know. There could be other releases that catch my attention and stuff. And maybe the Star Wars game, the racing game, is so good that I have to give it a shot. So
Sure.
we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you listened for 5 minutes or 5 hours, we really appreciate it. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or emotional outbursts, please leave them in the comments below, and we will get to them on a future episode. But yeah, thank you so much, Brett, for recording the podcast with me. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you as always. It was a great time and yeah, a little shorter and sweeter compared to me rambling for an hour last week. But congrats on year 2, friend. It's our first episode here.
Absolutely. Congrats on you too, and we will see you next week at the bottom of Challenger's Deep. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.